Club has been a fascinating football club, I think probably for about the last 3 or 4 years now. I think the key things you need to know to understand the context is that in 2008 Pompey won the FA Cup. They were owned by a guy called Sasha Gajdamak. Everything seemed to be at Pompey's feet. You know, we were playing in the UEFA Cup against AC Milan, but then to cut a very long story short, the money ran out. Since then, we've been owned by a company called Portpin. Once they sold it to a company called CSI, but the key issue is that the company Portpin that had the club, they claim they're owed £17 million by Portsmouth Football Club, and it's that £17 million which is held by a charge that Portpin have over the assets of the football club that has really been the root of all our problems over the past year or so.
I often look back and think what happened. We got promotion in 2003. We then had Gajdamak come in approximately 2006, injected more money. We had top flight players, and we now understand that we were paying them massive salaries. I understand a quote is that Pompey were paying Sol Campbell £100,000 a week, which now sounds absolutely ridiculous to where we are now. But in the heady days, we were competing well in the Premiership, 8th or 9th, and obviously the FA Cup success. But we have to put our fanatical support to one side and realise this was only being achieved with money that we couldn't afford, was not sustainable.
I think to be fair, I think the fans have been very loyal. I mean, we were averaging probably about 14,000 in the Championship last season. We got relegated, and in a completely chaotic summer last summer, our first home game of the season, we had over 17,000 in Fratton Park. And since then, gates have sort of like averaged around about 12,000 or so, which really for a team that has lost 13 times at home this season, I think is a shows terrific loyalty, but also it's a very encouraging base to build on when hopefully the trust will take control of the club in the not too distant future.
At this moment in time, I feel that the fans would unite behind the trust. Obviously football fans always have different views. That's what is the attraction of football, but I think the majority of us have to accept that now it's the only logical way forward for our club to survive and prosper.
I think we've had some fantastic support. Certainly we've managed to get 2,000 fans to pledge £1,000 each to raise £2 million, which is an extraordinary achievement, I think. I would say that, you know, of that, there's probably another 3,000 or 4,000 fans out there who I would call as our supporters, who've got involved financially in other ways but haven't necessarily been able to afford the full £1,000.
I've actually made inquiries. I haven't paid my money, but I've made the pledge itself.
Well, I think we hopefully will take control of the club in mid-April. That's the way the plan stands at the moment. Obviously, there's a huge number of priorities that you're going to have, and they're going to be competing. I think the first thing is that clearly you're going to have a football club that almost certainly is going to be in League Two, which is the fourth tier of English football. But we'd like to think that we can get, with a bit of stability behind the scenes, with the support that we get as fans, we can generate the revenue that hopefully could create a competitive squad on the field, if not next season, then certainly the season after. So I think that will be a sort of like an immediate priority. But I think also what we want to make sure that we do is we reconnect with the supporter base. The modern football, if you like, the Premier League model, I think a lot of fans became a little bit disenfranchised from their club, and they felt that it was no longer really the football club that maybe they'd grown up with. And what we really want to do as supporters is to show them that Portsmouth Football Club is something that belongs to the whole community of Portsmouth, and we want our fans to feel part of, not have a customer relationship with them, but they are going to be part of what it is that we're trying to do.